Hello, Learn and Burn participants. My name is Burl Wade. I'm a landowner in North Fork, California. I've been asked to give my perspective on prescribed burning, land management, property management, fuel type conversion, why I'm doing it, the reasons I'm doing it, how much it's cost, why I think you should do it, why I want my neighbors to do it. A little bit about my background: 21 years with the Forest Service, engines, hot shots, helitack, fuels, kind of done it all. The majority of the fires that I've been on with the Forest Service, you would think I'd be doing forest fire type stuff, but honestly, like 99% of the fires I've been on have been in the wildland urban intermix, like mutual aid response, helping out either state or county fires. There's been quite a few like actual fires in the forest, but like 99% of the work I do is protecting somebody's infrastructure or multiple infrastructures or something like that. Human caused fires is basically what we go to because other people's stuff gets threatened from somebody else's mistake. It's kind of like the reason why I want to do the work I'm doing as heavy-handed as I'm doing it is because I don't want my stuff to burn up in the event that somebody else starts a fire and I'm not home, or even if I was home, I'd want my area to survive a fire. I've been on so many fires where there's just nothing that can be done for the homes and people's infrastructure and belongings that just goes up in a matter of minutes. I think anybody around this area that's been here for a while has been through either the Detweiler fire or the Creek fire or anything like that. And even if they're from some other area, I'm sure they've had some type of experience with wildfire destroying or threatening their area, or people, or at least someone they've known has lost something in a fire. So I don't want to be one of those folks that loses everything they have, and especially when I could have done something about it ahead of time for minimal cost. So let's just get right into looking at some images. Google Earth, give you a little bit better perspective on what I got going on. Okay, this is right here in North Fork, California. I got almost 10 acres, corner of Rocky Road and Wilcox Drive. This is what it looked like 3 years ago when I got it. Basically raw land. This is more or less what it looks like now, but a little bit more cleared. The images just haven't been updated yet. So the first year I got it, spring of 2021, I rented a D6 dozer and brushed and piled and burned about that much of it, probably about a third. I also cut this road in and built the pad for the house and moved some stuff onto the property. Last year, I got about that much cleared and burned and all cleaned up. This year, I'd like to get all the way down to the southern property boundary burned, pile burn. I've been doing all this with, the first year I did it with a D6 dozer, and last year I did it with 3 different mini excavator rentals. I usually rent for about a week at a time because I'm doing other work to my property, and I just kind of brush it at the same time as I have the equipment rentals. Here in a couple weeks, I'll rent a skid steer and a mini excavator, and I'll finish piling this lower part of the property. I already hand felled it, thinned it, selected the trees I want to stay, cut all the firewood out of it, stacked that up in logs. Now I just got to pile all the brush and the limbs and stuff and get that ready. I need to put some excavator line on that south property boundary and this west property boundary. It should be pretty good. Just kind of let her rip. This north property boundary and this east property boundary is pretty well taken care of with the paved road and the work that I've done in the past. Not much risk on that end. The neighbors right here to the north, they bought this 16 acres a couple months ago, and they've actually started brushing this area right here in preparation for their home site, which kind of doubles up as my defensible space from my place, even though the risk is more likely coming from the south for a wildfire coming at my place, not necessarily from the north. I'd say from the south off of Road 200 down here is likely where a fire would start. But yeah, I don't want my stuff to burn up, and that's why I'm doing it as heavy-handed as I am and as fast as I can, because you never know when a wildfire is going to start. I think to date, with all the equipment rentals and the diesel and my time, I've probably spent about $10,000 getting about 2/3 of the property cleared. Need to clear about another third, and I'm assuming that's going to take me another $1,000 to $2,000 in equipment rental and diesel fuel and time off work to do this. I can recoup some of my cost by selling firewood, but it doesn't pay for itself. It's just a cost I'm willing to incur to ensure the security of my property in the event an unplanned ignition occurs. Whether I'm home or not, I'd like my property to be fairly self-sufficient and potentially be an anchor point for fire crews to come in and either control a fire or have a starting place where they can anchor off of and start punching in line to start helping my neighbors out. If we all in our little community and even everywhere, if everybody spent the time to actually clear this heavy fuel out that's just been way overgrowing for however long, resistance to control would be greatly diminished in the event unplanned ignitions occur. That's why I want everybody to do this to their property. And eventually, in a couple years, it'll start looking like a park. The grass will start growing back, and I'll do some ornamental horticulture, landscaping, kind of spice it up a bit so it doesn't look so bleak with just overstory oak trees and grass. But to each their own.